Hi everyone, I'm Jewel, and this is J7409 Weather. Today, of course, is Thursday, the 14th of November, 2019, and boy, oh boy, have we got something to talk about. You've been hearing me talk about that possible storm, coastal storm coming up, and it is indeed going to do that. But on top of that, later in the forecast, this isn't even the worst low that's going to form. Another one will be forming later next week that's going to be much more powerful. And this one's going to be just bad enough for some coastal places. And it's looking like it's going to set up right off of the North Carolina coast. Now, this is the NAM map, okay? This is the NAM map. Let's get it back here and let's just turn it on. You can see some of the snow that's going on up in here. This isn't very significant. Not too bad at all. Light snow going on, but you can see this low pressure setting up down in the Gulf. It's going to come across Florida, then on up and out. This is only for 60 hours the next few days, but it's going to bring lots and lots of rain to a lot of people and wind. Now, so far as the temperatures across the eastern U.S. today, we should recover some during the next couple of days. But don't get too happy. They're still going to remain below what the average temperature for this time of the year should be. Now, rain along the Gulf Coast is going to be ahead of the southeast by the weekend, and that's what's going to help this storm to have such increasing winds and this good chance of snow across the Great Lakes through Friday that you see is light snow, and then the rain's going to move offshore into the Pacific Northwest out west. So you can see that moving in also. Now, we need to get to the storm before we get to anything else. But before I get over there, everybody is going to see, when you see this rain come across here, this only goes a few days. Now, when you get to the weekend, that's when a lot of rain is going to get over into Florida and to a lot of parts of Florida. I'd say from St. Lucie to Sebring to Tallahassee. Now, let's just take St. Lucie, Florida, for example. Good chance of rain tonight through tomorrow night, Saturday and Sunday. Sunny, but it's going to be windy and breezy. Now, when we get to Tallahassee, rain this afternoon, rain tonight, rain tomorrow. Your highs are going to be in the 50s and low 40s for Tallahassee. Now let's get to this coastal storm. This is for North Carolina. We've got all this stuff here for North Carolina. Myrtle Beach does not have this. It's going to be just far enough offshore. You should get some gusty winds now and then and rain, but nothing compared to what the coastal sections of NC. Now, it's looking like Friday night through Monday. Yes, all coastal waters, sounds, and rivers are going to be affected by this. Strong gale force winds, dangerous seas, the whole get out, okay? Coastal flooding. We do have some storm surge 2 to 4 feet above ground. Locally higher amounts are possible, and the high surf and beach erosion and overwash. Now, this should happen on the Soundside areas adjacent to the southern Pamlico Sound, oceanside areas north of Cape Lookout, high surf north of Cape Lookout, highest impacts north of Cape Hatteras. This is Friday night through Monday. Heavy rain, minor possible flooding. The entire whole section of eastern North Carolina, Friday through Saturday. Could have some isolated power outages. Get right, strongest near the coast, Friday night through early morning. And as you can see, greatest impacts. Marine, significant. Coastal flooding, significant. Wind, elevated. Flooding, limited. We're kind of used to the high water. My water was high yesterday, folks. The wind inland is limited. As we move down, we can see that this is wind gust that is expected. Now, this could change. I'm going to keep my eyes on it, but as of right now, this was put out late yesterday for us, This is what we're going by. There won't be another one out till late tonight, okay? Ocracoke, 61 mile per hour. Frisco, 62. Rodanthe, you hear me talk about Rodanthe, 52. Kill Devil Hills, 55. This is wind gusts. Your sustained winds are probably going to be in the 20 and 30 area mark. As you move inland over in Greenville, 30 mile per hour wind gusts. It's just going to be a mess, folks, down in Swan Quarter, 47. But the next system that I show you has 100 mile per hour wind gust in it. This is the first one we have to go through. Now, the coastal flooding areas of ocean overwash is possible from Duck to Manio, areas of significant ocean overwash. Poor Rodanthe and Avon and Frisco, as you see right in here. They just had a big blast about a month ago, looking like they're going to get another one. Minor coastal flooding is possible up around this area and Kenly. Now, coastal flooding also as we move closer to the inland area in the lowlands of Bayboro, overwash in Ocracoke, Hatteras Village. Minor coastal flooding down around when we get close to Beaufort and to Davis, and significant coastal flooding in North Harlow to Minnesota Beach, Havelock. Also, over here around Atlantic and Cedar Island, all of these areas right that you see brown, New Bern, significant coastal flooding is possible. So be aware for this, folks. And then we have the waves. The waves may get a little bit high at times. Look at the point out here, 25 in height. Look, in the river I live in, they're going to be 2 feet or more, maybe even 5 to 7, because I live right out in this area here. Can you believe that? It's going to be a mess, folks. So please pay attention. This weekend's going to be a mess if you live anywhere in the coastal sections of eastern North Carolina. The wind's going to blow, the water's going to get high, and we're going to have much, much rain. So be aware. Now, as we take a look at the NDFD map, you know, I was talking about the temperatures. Well, yes, the temperatures are going to recover, but they're still going to be well below average, folks, for November. Now, for the deep south, this compact upper level vortex arriving from northern Mexico, it's going to bring this chance of rain along the Gulf Coast today as this coastal front begins to form. The rain associated with the system is expected to spread quickly eastward into the southeastern U.S., and the interaction between the upper vortex and the coastal front will result in the formation of a low pressure. That's what's going to make this low pressure over the eastern Gulf of Mexico by tonight. Now, by tomorrow morning, the storm could be intensifying more rapidly as it moves northeastward just off the southeast U.S. coast. Uncertainty remains high regarding the forecast track and intensity of this storm, but the southeast U.S. coast will likely see increasing northeast winds with moderate to heavy rainfall Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday. Now, we have a relatively weak frontal system of Pacific origin, and it's going to bring a good chance of snow across the Great Lakes today. Shouldn't be really heavy, but you do have that chance of some snow. And another cold front arriving from Canada will bring a renewed round of snow into the upper Great Lakes from early tomorrow into interior New England, and you'll see the snow showers lingering through Saturday. Now, I say snow showers, I don't mean a big snow out. Now, over in the west, above average temperatures and dry weather will expand eastward into the northern and central high plains tomorrow. Now, in the meantime, moisture is going to stream onshore into the Pacific Northwest, impacting areas from extreme northwestern California through western Washington, with rain through tomorrow. Now, the precipitation should penetrate further inland into the northern Rockies by tomorrow night into Saturday morning, with rain in the lower elevations and wet snow over the higher elevations. Now I have the European model. I have this set on wind gust as we see where this storm is around 4 p.m. The coastal storm tomorrow, the 15th. Here it is setting up right in here. As you can see, this is wind gust, but this is the first one. Another one's coming. I'm going to turn this on. Just kind of let it roll through for you. This is kind of like a preview to what's coming up, folks. You can see it's going mainly offshore. I can turn on the pressure gradient right quick. And we'll see what sets up here right quick. Well, it doesn't want to come on for me. Let's see if this will work a little better now, folks. Here we go. You can see it moving at the timestamp down at the bottom. You can see the low has set up. And now it's midnight around Saturday, 1 a.m. Saturday morning. And all of this wind is coming down from a high pressure system in the cold winter vortex and with the jet stream. The low is right here that is going to cause a storm with wind and rain. But you can see, look at some of these wind gusts right now offshore. This is looking pretty like it's going to be a pretty good storm, folks. 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. You see that? So, I mean, that's not inland right now, but this thing's going to move on along, folks. So, you really need to pay attention to what's going on with it as we turn it back on. If you got anything in these areas that I've showed you that the National Weather Service has put out to go ahead and warn us way ahead of time, the wind's going to blow. If you got anything outside, if you live in the coastal areas, you might want to pick it up, move it, and put it away. And there could be some flooding where I showed you on that briefing from the National Weather Service for eastern North Carolina. This is moving on along now. All right, we're going to click it on up. This is Monday. See, it sets off with this eastern North Carolina coast for a while, just about all weekend, before it starts to move out. Now, once again, this is wind gust, but we're going to move it up to Tuesday. This low that was over in the Gulf now, it is coming up by Tuesday afternoon. We'll go to Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening around 7, and look up here. My goodness, it's going to go all the way across, folks. All the way across. Let's back up just a hair here. You can, and look at the pressure in it, 29.01. It's going to have a lot of wind gust in it. Indeed, we'll look up here around Long Island. 42-mile-per-hour wind gust. We get around New Jersey's coastline here. 67. And I have seen some even higher. But out here in the ocean, look at this. 92. I've seen some over 100 miles per hour. So we got one storm system coming up for this weekend. And as soon as it gets over with, then we got another one about the middle of the week. This one right here. Let's just go to what the precipitation may look like with this. If we can get it to come up, here we go. Alright, so far it's looking like rain for the most part, except in parts of New York and Pennsylvania. This thing is bringing in wet snow and sleet and a little bit of snow, okay? We'll move on up here further. You can see now we got Maine. Here's everything for our Canadian friends. This is middle of the week now. This is around 11 p.m. Next Wednesday, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, you're getting snow out of this. Most part of Maine's getting rain with some wet snow, a little bit of freezing rain, and a combination of snow over in the northern western sections. Everybody else along the coastline is getting rain. This could change. Got to watch it, folks. I've been trying to tell you about this system for a while now. Then it moves on up, looking like mostly rain in the same areas here and there. So, that's what's going on with these low pressure systems forming into coastal storms and the forecast for today. Everyone, please get right. If you live in eastern North Carolina this weekend, we are going to get it. Okay? So, be prepared for it. Have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, commenting, giving me a thumbs up. I appreciate it so much. I love you guys a lot. Everybody stay warm and be well. Peace, love, and kindness to all. Thanks for watching.